are going to be focusing today on the critical question of ensuring recyclers remain viable while giving brands the confidence to use our verified recycled material. We are very happy to have a very interesting panel from Europe. But first of all, a little bit of housekeeping. We'll be recording this session, so no one needs to use recording or note-taking apps. Let's try to save energy if we can. I will turn the transcription and recording off at question time because we want everybody to be able to ask questions as brutally honest as possible. And we are going to make that available afterwards, so anybody who wants the video can get it there. So yes, please don't use the recording or note-taking apps if you can. I'm going to hand over to Helen. She's going to introduce our speakers and guide us through the session.
Thank you so much, Oscar, and hello everyone on the call. It's delightful to have you here. This is an important session because, as many of us know, plastics recycling is a priority around the world, and it's also under strain. So if you can go to the following slide, please. And obviously, it's important to give acknowledgement to the sponsors and supporters of this program. That includes AFCO, the Australian Institute of Packaging, New Zealand Packaging Forum, and my own business as well. And of course, SPSA, who is hosting this series. There you can see the various brands who are outstanding leaders and supporters of Soft Plastics Stewardship Australia. Without them, all our work would not be feasible. Next slide. Thanks, Oscar. So today we're going to be doing a dive into actually the business of recyclers and how they provide reliable recyclate to their customers. This is a very topical area and one much debated in Australia. Next slide, thanks. So here are some key observations that are based on 10 or more years working in this area. I first went to Europe to look at plastics recycling and what I then now came to understand as EPR in 2018. At the height of the boom, when the European Commission had just released its circular economy for strategy. And that resulted in an extraordinary boom in growth as companies around the European bloc moved to pursue a packaging target or recovery target of 8 million additional tonnes. And so that then led to extraordinary boom in construction and business activity. However, that was also being met by flooded imports and lower costs, which we've seen, of course, since 2022. A number of people have misunderstood that mandated targets are universal across Europe. They are predominantly through the agreements that governments have for EPR and their PROs. So unless a company is connected with an EPR or a PRO scheme, they are not necessarily subjected to the same kind of targets as appears elsewhere. There's also been a misunderstanding that the PPWR targets for 2030 are already enforced. They are not. So that means that while there is work being done to identify and fine-tune the details, there are very few mandatory targets for recycled content in the European market or anywhere else around the world. And so what we're seeing at the moment is a considerable period of flux. It's important that you note that when you hear today from Mateo Packing, from Today's, that you will realise that not all plastics recyclers are connected to EPR or PROs, and those that are, not 100% of their business will be either. PROs support the relevant recycling chain partners to address market gaps. They support competition and innovation, including best value and return on any investment. And together with governments, they work to improve the system and to deliver improved circularity. Thanks. Next slide, Oscar. This is a short slide. It will be very familiar to you, but I wanted to illustrate where Australia ranks in comparison to Czechia, who we're hearing from today. Next slide, thanks. So you can see how significant is the growth and availability or the performance in Czechia. Czechia, what is significant about it? I was fascinated to go there last year because it is a society that has gone through extraordinary turmoil as a result of the end of the since the communist period in 1989. The Ministry of Environment is the national regulator for PROs, etc., for all different types. It services a population half the size of Australia, of course, a much smaller land footprint as well, but they have achieved an extraordinary packaging recycling target of 69%. They also have similar challenges with filling landfills, just like Australia. And so what we'll hear from the team today is an exciting, interesting evolution of the model of recyclers and the PRO. And I really want to thank Tadeus and Zbigniew for their time. Next slide, thanks. Here is a slide showing 29 years of the Czech packaging EPR system. And what's quite fascinating to me is how quickly some of these steps were enacted. The Waste Act was introduced in 1997, EkoKom was formed, and the government approved it as an entity in 1999, within 2 years. The Waste Act came into effect 4 years later. EkoKom by then had 42% of companies on market as members, and it was the following year that EkoKom was actually authorised as the PRO. So within the space of 5 years, 6 years, 5 years, EkoKom was designated as the PRO for the Czech Republic. And so they began on a journey of continuous improvement, and other factors there are of interest, including the fact that Czechia, although a small country, has 4,450 local councils, which is an extraordinary number. And of course, like most other countries, has around 21,000 producer clients. It's continued to grow, and I've also put in some key dates there of its authorisations by the government. Next slide, thanks, Oscar. These are typical structures and roles when you have a PRO and a regulator. For those that have attended these webinars, this slide will be familiar to you, which shows the national regulator next to the national government, which sets strategies and targets. The regulator is the intermediary that has oversight and performance of the producers and the PRO. And today we're focusing on the 2 green items there, which is the reprocessors and the relationship with the not-for-profit entity. Thanks. Next slide, Oscar. So, as you would appreciate, PROs and regulators are ostensibly product conductors. Government and a not-for-profit PRO working in conjunction with one another to balance the system. Next slide. Thanks, Oscar. This is a wonderful visual. It comes from a report by Expera. I've put in the link there for anyone who might be interested to read about a summary of the Czech packaging waste take-back and recovery system. It's not compulsory for brands to join EkoKom, but it is far more efficient for them to do so. And so what you will hear today is pretty much the relationship between EkoKom and the recyclers who are in this sector and what it is that they report on and the relationship between them. Thanks so much, Oscar. This is a more complicated slide. It shows some of the monetary flow, some of the material flow, but it's as a result of this intricate and delicate relationship between the parties that sees them reach such high recycling rates of nearly 55% for plastic packaging alone, and over 69% for all packaging in Czechia. So, of course, they've created a far more circular system than we enjoy here in Australia. The materials flow and are measured. The system is coordinated through a process of agreements, records and payments. It's an equitable, balanced system of distribution costs and responsibilities amongst all the parties. And in the centre is a not-for-profit entity that operates and meets government targets within defined budgets. It's very productive, low waste, economically viable and equitable. And it responds to the market. Thanks so much. The final slide here in my pack is the one on EPR. This is a standard that I frequently refer to. It's the golden rules on EPR, which applies to government, the regulators, as well as the PROs. So I'll leave it there, and we'll next move to the final slide in my pack. Thanks, Oscar. And that is to introduce Tadeusz Kaniak, who's the plastics manufacturer and recycler. Tadeusz is the operations manager at Mateo Packaging in Lucencia in Czech Republic. And I thank him so much for his hospitality in having me there in May last year, or July might have been. And Zbigniew Kozel is the CEO of EkoKom, which is the PRO for the Czech Republic, as we've mentioned. And Zbigniew, before he joined EkoKom in its early formative years, was a Coca-Cola amateur. So extensive practical experience amongst the two gentlemen you're going to hear from today. So moving right along to the next slide, I think we're ready to hear from Tadeusz first. And I will be bidding you a farewell shortly, folks, because I'm here at a friend's mother's funeral. So unfortunately, I'm not able to stay on the call for the duration, but I'm sure you'll be in good hands with Barry and the team. And I hope you will be delighted by what you hear about practical projects in Czechia. Thanks so much. Over to you, Tadeusz.
Okay, thank you, Helen. And I would like to say good afternoon to Australia. Here is early morning in Europe. So I would like to briefly introduce our company, Mateo Packing, which is a producer of LDPE foils and recycle of LDPE waste material. Recycling now makes the majority of production of our company, and we sell surpluses of granulates to other countries in Europe and other company. Next slide, please. Mateo Packing was established as a trading company focused on production of packaging materials. And since the beginning of our production, we also start recyclate our own waste from production. So we started in 2006 with a small capacity of recycling. Then a little bit later, how our production grows, we also extended our recycling capacity. And in 2017, we purchased a new, bigger recycling line with higher capacity. We also did some improvement of shredder and distribution of material from one place to different lines. We also purchased a special filter, rotary filter, which removing paper dirt from our materials. What was very important here, it was year 2021 when we start operation on our first washing line. Due to this washing line, we are able to processing a dirty foil recycling. The first step is that the foil is clean, and after the cleaning, it's recycled. The capacity of the line is 1,000 kilograms per hour, and you can see on the pictures here the old recycling line and washing lines, how it's set up. In 2024 was done reconstruction by our old recycling hall, and we install our second washing line. So our capacity is now 60 tons per day. Next slide, please. So now we have in our plant 3 production halls for recycling, each with capacity of 1 ton per hour. 2 halls are equipped by washing technology. The total production is 1,800 tons per month. We operate 24/7. So per year is a little bit more than 21,000 tons. To cover our production, it's necessary to supply more than 2,000 tons per month. We have more than 100 suppliers of waste, and the suppliers are small companies which just bring to us their waste material, but also big companies as a sorting lines from Czech Republic, traders from Germany and France, and so on. Our own consumption is around 1,000 ton per month, and the rest of our production we now sell across the Europe, mainly to Spain and France and Italy. Next slide, please. The rest of production of granulates we use in our production of LDPE packaging. As I mentioned, we start as a trading company and a little bit later on as a production company of LDPE foils. So we still continue with production of LDPE foils and bags on rolls and so on. So on the picture you can see the extruder, how we produce LDPE films, and later on from the films we can produce bags. Main markets for our final products is Czech Republic, around 55%, Germany, Austria, and some other countries in Europe. Next slide, please. We start our cooperation with EkoKom in 2021 after we start the operation on our first washing line, because when we start operation on washing line, we were able to also recycling the waste, very dirt waste material, which we was not able to produce before. So in 2021, we signed a contract with EkoKom, and we start to use the support from EkoKom. EkoKom support only some parts of waste material. It's waste from municipalities, and it's waste from packaging. How the system works from our point of view, I think that Zbigniew will mention more about the system. I would like just mention how we operate with EkoKom. We know for each year or each quarter what will be the support from EkoKom, and we have a contract or orders for some companies in Czech Republic for which do sorting, and they sell the material to us. And the material which we produce on our lines, we report to EkoKom how many and from which suppliers we proceed, and EkoKom issue confirmation, and then we issue the invoice for EkoKom. Only approximately 15% of our material, of our input material, is supported by EkoKom. Because only 50% of our material is from Czech Republic, 50% is abroad. And from this 50%, let's say 15% of total input is supported by EkoKom. It's not a huge quantity, but it's very important for us, this support, because without this support, it will be very hard to clean the dirt material and proceed the recycling. So the support from EkoKom, it's very important for us to keep run the recycling. Next slide, please. So here is some information about the suppliers which we can use for EkoKom and quarterly reporting. As I mentioned, suppliers are sorting lines from Czech Republic. Before we did not cooperate with these sorting lines, so we start cooperation with sorting lines in Czech Republic after we signed the contract with EkoKom. Now we cooperate with 10 of them, and approximately 25 tons per month we use for these suppliers. Each quarter we prepare a report for EkoKom. It's a Excel file which we send to EkoKom. Based on this report, EkoKom issue a confirmation, and we invoice service to EkoKom. Next slide, please. On this slide, I would like to little bit say about the market situation. In the past, the market was let's say on market was enough quite clean foils, but this clean foils, it's decreasing the quantity on market. So it's very tough to have enough material for recycling and production of LDPE packaging. So we decided to install this washing line because there is still enough dirt foils. So the situation on market is not very good for producer which can produce only clean foils. So for us, it's important that we have this washing line and we have the support from EkoKom. Talk about current situation. It's very tough because I think no one of us knows what will happen, and we still wait and check the news every day. What's going on? How the situation will have impact on our market and our company. The increase of virgin material, the price of virgin material and products of virgin materials, it's already done. It's twice than the price from February, and we feel also some slight increase in demand for wasting materials, but the prices is still under high pressure from our customers. So it's not possible to increase the prices now. So we still wait what will happen in short future. Next slide, please. Yeah. So thank you for your attention. I hope that I introduced a little bit our company, what we do, how we operate, what is the situation on market, and how EkoKom support us and help us to improve the situation with recycling.
Thanks today. It's really appreciate that. Now I'm going to hand over to Zbynek just to run through how EkoKom functions in Czechia. So I've just noticed he's dropped offline. We'll give him a second to reappear, and then we'll jump into that. The key thing while he's coming back, the key thing I've learned from looking at the presentation is EkoKom deals with the recyclers, assesses the market gap between their cost structures and what the market is paying, averages that out, and then provides a subsidy for the industry, so providing certainty for the industry. But I'll let him talk through the details on that. Make sure he comes back.
Is it all right to ask a question while we wait?
Yeah, if you could, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, my name is Phil McAuliffe, Head of Operations at SBSA. Just thank you very much for that presentation. It was quite useful. I was just interested in any help about traceability of material in your supply chain. Was there any advice that you would give to ourselves in trying to ensure that we have very good traceability of the material from its generation through to its recycled content? That was a question to Tadeusz.
The traceability, I'm not sure if I understood correctly, because the traceability is of course it's important for us. For example, we have some Outsurplus, Recyclate, and so on. So the traceability is important for this system of certification. But I'm not sure if I understood correctly your question about traceability.
Yeah, just to be able to demonstrate throughout the whole production where the material that it started with, the material that you recycled, through to a finished product, that you have traceability across that process.
Yeah, of course. We have the traceability across the system. So, for example, we know exactly from which waste we produce some bags on roll, which was delivered to some our customers. So we have the system of traceability, our internal system, and it's necessary to have certification Recyclate in Europe.
And was that difficult to provide that traceability so you can achieve that certification?
It's not easy, but it's possible to have it. Yeah, it's not a huge deal, let's say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Zbynek's dropped out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump through some of the key. Oh, are you there?
Just joined back on.
Cool. Fantastic. So I'll hand over to Zbynek. I was about to jump through some of your slides, but I'll hand back over to you now.
Sorry, it was some collapse on the network. I've been struggling to get back. Okay, so first, welcome everybody. Second, short comment. I am not anymore CEO of the company because I am close to the retiring. So I am now corporate secretary. So you can see me for some couple of years supporting new CEO in this role. Anyway, EkoKom started 30 years ago almost, and the uniqueness of EkoKom is that this startup was actually from very small budget. Companies put themselves together similar to Austria on the voluntary basis, and our initial budget was actually tremendous. It was $200,000. So we started with this money. And of course, for us, the point was how to start recycling on a nationwide scale without money for investment. So we developed a scheme which does not require investment, and I will try to show it to you. Next slide, please. We are relying on market forces from very beginning, and we started with simple presumption. If you have waste, sorted waste available, you will find recycling in the end if you create proper market conditions for this recycling. Next slide. So our rules are very simple. We are paying municipalities to collect the waste and sort the waste. The municipalities are selecting the waste operator. We are financing recycling, as Tadeusz told, not for every waste, only for those difficult wastes. And we are financing sorting lines, which I will explain how in the very near future. And we are trying to keep in the chain the reasonable EBITDA for everybody on the same terms to the everybody. But we are not taking care about companies, whether they are individual companies, profitable or not. We are creating market. And Tadeusz, with Mateo company, it's competing with all other recyclers, as I will show in the next slide, please. As you see, it works. This chart shows you one very interesting thing. You are aimed to the soft plastics or flexibles, as we call it in Europe. It was decision in 2020 actually to go in this type of the material, and you see how the landfill of the material went perfectly down of all plastics. Next slide, please. And within 3 years, we achieved on the flexibles, which is that right column, you see that we achieved quite tremendous recycling rate, 56%, which is very good in Europe scale as well. So it's our way of the operation. And interesting is that we didn't make 1 penny of the investment on this. We just used the market forces. Next slide, please. So, first of all, you need separate waste collection. Next slide. Which is simple. In Czechia, any municipality interested to operate selective collection is entitled to get contract from us, get reimbursed. Municipalities are free to decide who will actually operate that collection. It's up to them whether it will be municipal company, public tender, private company, whatever. Next slide. Then it's the sorting operation cost. Important point is the sorting line which will be used, it's actually decided by the municipality or operator of the collection. We are not suggesting which sorting line should be used. We are financing sorting lines. But how you can finance sorting line? What do you see on this picture? It's actually financial equilibrium of the sorting line which operates something. You see that this virtual sorting line, it's operating sorting of three materials, material C, B, A, and they have some base cost. And each material has some different cost of the sorting it out to the required quality. The same sorting line is selling material, and you see that in the blue, that material A, it's profitable because the cost of the sorting is lower than sales. Perfect. It's not the case of material B, not the case of material C, as you see. The cost to sorting it out is higher than actually what you will get on the market for that material. How you will solve the problem? Simple. You pay them. And you see that payment which sorting line gets, it's two parts. One, it's that GF, I will explain later. And then it's that payment from EPR, it's that green column. This is what we pay to the sorting line. That GF, it's gate fee. The sorting line is also charging the one who is delivering the waste for some smaller money, actually to cover their cost. And this gate fee has important role in the system. You will see later. Okay, if we will do what is suggested on this upper part of the picture, what sorting line will do? Imagine yourself to be manager of the sorting line. Why the hell you should sort the materials which create loss, which is that material B and C? You stop to sort them. You are saving cost and you are making profit on material A. So this will not work. Next slide. So what you will do as the EPR scheme, you are paying some money for input. It's that left column. And then you are paying something for each material which is on the output. You see that we are not paying for material A because it has high price on the market, no need. But we are paying some money for material B and material C to cover the total cost. Sounds nice. But still, as the manager of the sorting line, why the hell you would have to tackle other materials which you are still not making profit? So next slide, please. What you will do, actually, you see on the lower part, we will actually take out some part of the base payment and you put it on top of what you are paying for the material C and B. So you make profitable all three materials for the sorting line. And the sorting line is happy and it's sorting all three materials. This way you are regulating sorting actually. Now, important thing about that residual part here, you see that actually the income for input, actually, it's almost only that gate fee, which is charged to the waste operator or municipality delivering the waste. What is the role? Of course, we can cover this part as well, but we intentionally don't do it. So we cover this money actually to municipality in our payment. But this makes municipality to decide which sorting line is more efficient. The one which is charging lower gate fee is the more efficient sorting line. So this way we are creating competition between sorting lines to offer the lowest gate fee, which is pushing them down on the costing. They are competing each other. Next slide, please. So it works in theory, yes, but we are in the market economy, and as you see the economy of the sorting line, it's quite simple business, but very volatile business. Next slide. For which money the sorting line is selling the material? For the market price. And this, what you see, is market prices of different plastic materials from the sorting lines over the last 5 years. Would you like to live in such markets? Probably not. I will show you other slide. Next one, please. This is in percentage. Here you see each material compared against 5-year average. You see the total global market crisis in this, developments, etc., but still does not give you perception how volatile the market. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yes. This is fascinating picture. This is month to month price change, average price change over the last 5 years. What you see? It's that as the manager of the sorting line, you can expect that exactly the same material you are sorting out can jump up by the 50% within 2 months, but it can also go down by 30%, 40%, 60%. So it's very hard to plan anything in the sorting business, actually, unless somebody will solve the problem. And it's the EPR who is solving the problem. You were told by Tadeusz that he is getting our price offer every quarter. Every quarter, we are actually changing that support to the sorting clients and recyclers depending on the market. What we are doing is that we are stabilizing business for the sorting line. If you know and have trust into the EPR system, that EPR system will change its support month by month by the different levels of the market, then your business starts to be simple. You do not need to speculate because you know that your income from the material calculated as the sale plus support from EPR will be more or less constant. Of course, still you will be hungry, so you will look to sell the material for the best possible price, but you have guarantee that you will not fall down. Next slide, please. So this is the way how to handle the market volatility, convert business to the stable business. And it works. Next slide. This is what I said. We are looking to the sorting clients. We know their average costing, and we are trying to ensure that they have some level of the stable EBITDA. But this does not avoid competition. Remember, and it's golden rule in our system, we are paying all sorting clients the same fees by the same contract. So they are still competing each other. They are still trying to cut the cost. They are trying to sell material for the best price. And if they will find the outlet which is offering very high prices, what we will do, we will decrease our support, of course, because we are nasty people. Next one. Important is that you are taking out from the system the speculation. With this level, sorting clients are going to continual output because they know that if they will speculate on the price hike, they will not gain anything much, because if the price goes up, we will decrease the support. So the speculation is minimum in the system, and it works. Next. Now, the question what I would expect here is how we know whether we are paid properly and correctly. We know. And this is where the gate fee comes into the game. Because if we would pay too much to the sorting clients, they will start to be much more hungry for material. And how they can get more material, they will decrease the gate fee. So if we are monitoring gate fees, we know whether we are paying too much or too less. Because on the opposite way, if we will not pay enough, the sorting clients will have to increase the gate fees. And of course, we are trying to keep the gate fee below the level of the gate fee of the landfill, because in that case, the material will go to the landfill and not to the sorting client. So this is our monitoring parameter, and it's why you all the time should keep the gate fee in the game. Gate fee is the indicator to the municipality which sorting client is more efficient, and it's indicator for you how much you pay, too much or not enough. Next slide, please. Now we have materials like that material which Tadeusz is recycling is the films, LDPE films, for example, from the municipal waste. They are dirty, they are color, they are not much valuable. And actually, if you want to process them and sell them, then usually your cost is higher than what is the price you can get on the market for the recycled material. So actually it turns to the negative price. If Tadeusz would want to get films from the sorting line under normal conditions, he should go to the sorting line and say, guys, I will take 1 ton from you, but you will pay me $200 because it should cover my cost of the washing and energy and everything. You can imagine that psychologically it's not very good for the sorting client actually to sell for negative price. Yeah? And more important, if that negative price will be higher, more negative than the cost you will pay on the landfilling, you will not send it to the recycling, you will send it to the landfill, it's cheaper. So what we do is that we start to pay the recyclers and we are shifting that price. So next slide, please. We are actually creating something which is not real price. We call it transfer price, but it's still price because the sorting clients and the recyclers are negotiating price and they are competing in the market. Next slide, please. This is the picture of the, again, behavior of the sorting client. As you see, if there is a negative price of that material C, I here put it into the negative price, so it's actually cost of the material. Additional, you can balance it very simply with that question mark here that you put more money there. But it does not solve the fact that sorting client may transfer material to the landfill and show it to you as the recycling, the fraud, typical, yeah, which it's very easy to find out. And secondly, it does not solve the psychological problem. I don't like to sort something to pay even more to get rid of it. So what we are doing, next slide. We are paying recyclers to increase the price, purchase price to the positive levels. Next slide. Here you see again the same. This is the real price on the market. You see it negative. These are the lower lines. But on the upper level, you see what we are paying to companies like Mateo, actually for the recycling, for performed recycling. And what you see is that they can change their price policy to the sorting client. Next slide, please. So in the reality, the transfer price, which is still competing price, which is offered from recyclers to our sorting clients, it's actually in these levels. It's small money. You see here maximum 1,000 crowns, which is $50 actually. Yeah. But still, it's positive money. You can see at some situation that it drops below the zero for a time being. We correct our pricing and it goes again up. So what is our desire is to pay recyclers enough, they can offer some positive purchase price to the sorting clients. But this purchase price, it's still competitive. So the recyclers should compete for the material offering the better price. Again, what we are getting, monitoring point. If we see that prices offered by Mateo or other recyclers are going too much up, we know that we are paying them too much, so we can decrease it. Unfortunately, with the energy crisis over last years, we never decreased it. Okay, next slide. So what we are getting to the situation, this is the final picture of the sorting client behavior. They are getting money from us. As you see, material C, it's again positive material. Why? Because we paid recyclers, but it's still market price. And we are paying for each material to let them make some profit. We are not paying for the material A because it's profitable by itself. It would be PET bottles, for example. Yeah. And we have here gate fee of the sorting client, which show us how it's the economy of the sorting client. If they are increasing gate fee, it means they are not getting enough money from the system. If they are decreasing it, we are overpaying sorting clients. Next slide. So, as I said, we develop system which is market-driven and require no investment from the EPR system. We do not invest into the technologies. We do not invest into the sorting clients, to the recycling lines, etc. We do not conclude long-term 10-year contracts. All the things which some of our colleagues did in Belgium or elsewhere. And the reason is very simple. Recycling, actually, it's quite innovative industry. There are innovations in the sorting technologies, in recycling technologies, and if you are investing in the technology as the EPR system, you are stuck because you are dealing only with the packaging waste, with the small part of the packaging waste. You are not market leader. There are companies like Mateo and many other companies which are doing innovation all the time, but they are not processing only municipal waste, they are processing other waste as well. They have synergy. So for us, it's much better to do this system because it leaves innovation to work. Our recyclers, our sorting clients are competing each other for the material and for our, because we are paying everybody the same, and it makes innovation flourish. Sometimes it happens that some company goes out of the market. It may happen, simply they selected wrong technology. But on the other hand, as Tadeusz can confirm, the recent crisis, which was last 2 years, which killed 20% of all recycling companies in the Western Europe, didn't touch Czechia. In Czechia, it was one company which went bust, and it was company because they have very wrong technology which they selected. On opposite, over the last 2 years, we increased capacity of the recycling in Czechia by 150%, and it's flourishing business actually. So we have system which works, and we can monitor simply some measurable points, how much we pay, and we are keeping market stable and flourishing. That's it. Next slide, please. As was shown by Helen, we are fourth in the recycling rates in Europe today. So we are quite competitive, and I can tell you that we are actually cheaper than Belgium or other Netherlands, which are investing into the technologies, keep control over everything, but it's also that control, it's very expensive. Next slide and questions.
Thanks, Zbyněk. Really
Yeah, I
fascinating.
will point you out to this website of EkoKom. You can see our rates which we are paying to sorting clients, to the recyclers. They are changing every quarter. So actually, if you will look to the EkoKom rates, you will have good hint what is the market of the secondary material in Europe and globally, because our rates are changing depending on the global market.
All right, we'll go to questions, but I'll just one more slide, Oscar. Just go to that one, then we'll throw open to questions. So the summary that I sort of pulled together of this is commodity, as Zbyněk said, commodity markets are always fluctuating and therefore erode investment confidence. So how they handle this in EkoKom, we can just go to the next build, Oscar. You'll see that they fund the economic gaps. They're not funding commodities that are already profitable. They're only funding where there's an economic market gap. And they're doing that on a quarterly basis, reviewing the market and reviewing their contracted parties' accounts. And there's a few questions on that we'll come to. So at SBSA, and the other key point he made is it's a level playing field. So there's no subsidizing effect or poorer recycling outcomes or less efficient facilities over those who are more efficient. It's a level playing field, which is really fascinating. So the next build, Oscar. So very similarly, the model for SPSA is we are aiming to pour money into areas of market failure. So when we move into curbside, we've funded bags to councils. In those councils, we've funded the MRFs where there's incremental costs, not all costs, the incremental costs, and then obviously transport and recycling gate fees. So a very similar model, but a very much newer scheme. We are where EkoKom was probably 25 years ago. So one of the questions, Zbyněk, is around the auditing. When you assess each quarter you assess the gap between profit and loss, and you come up with a subsidy. How do you do the auditing of that? Is it open book, and do you have your own auditors? What's the process?
You would be surprised. We don't need it. We have special contracts with 2 or 3 sorting clients or some recyclers, which allow us to see structure of the costing. But this is for our knowledge, how the structure is and what we should expect. But as I explained, we may undershoot or overshoot our payment. Remember that we are paying everybody the same, so we are paying all the market. We may do it, but we will immediately see it on some other figure. If we overshoot, we will see that recyclers are increasing purchasing prices immediately. So we know what we are doing. If we undershoot, the sorting clients will increase the gate fees. So we know all the time what we are doing. So it's a bit kind of the guessing game, because you are also predicting market for the next quarter. But you should remember that we need to achieve our results. So we cannot underpay for the long time, because we will not achieve what we need. And we will not overpay, because if we will overpay, we will see that every sorting client, every recycler will offer tremendous money to buy the material. Sorting client will offer even that they will buy material from the municipality. If this happens, we are wrong. And because you have data every quarter on this, it's enough. So you do not need to go to the books and look over the shoulder of every recycler and sorting client. It's no need. We are aiming to the market average.
That's really fascinating. In Australia, we don't have that market maturity yet, so we don't have access to the data. So that's something we can aspire to. Probably it's one more question, because we're right on time.
But we did not have the market as well in the beginning. But the point is that if you start this system, that market will create itself within 2 years.
Right. 2 years. That was the next question. How long did it take you to get the market up and running? So 2 years. fascinating for everyone watching. You know, if you get the investment confidence, the funding's there, and we've seen that. In Australia, we have now 3 main processes, and there's others planning, but we need that next step. So,
I think that Australians, like the Czechs, are quite entrepreneurial people. And what happened when we started in '97, even we paid probably 20% of the money which we paid later on in full system. But even this 20% of the money was enough for many people to think how to build up sorting line, and others started to build the recycling lines, etc. So it's simply market incentive. If you put incentive into the market will develop itself.
We're a couple of minutes over, so we'll wrap it up there. And I've just seen a couple more questions, so we'll try and answer those out of the out of session. But thank you so much to today's for giving us an update on the scheme, really on the plan, and also to Benyak on how EkoKom works, and gives us something to aspire to. So if anyone's got any other questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and we'll come back to you out of session. But thanks everyone for your time. And thanks so much for the presenters for presenting at 6 a.m. Czechia time. Really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry I didn't have more time, but to explain this scheme in detail takes half a day.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the invitation. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.